In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, all praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the Beneficent, the Merciful. We forever thank Allah for coming to us in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, the great Mahdi. And we forever thank Allah for leaving to us a messenger, Messiah, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, and forever leaving us a comforter in our midst today in the person of the honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. In their great and holy names, we'd like to greet you all today. In the greeting words of peace, we say in the Arabic language of Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
And we have a very, very good treat today, and a student minister in the Nation of Islam, Brother Shahid Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam, my brother.
Yes, thank you, Brother Shahid, for coming in today. On behalf of the student minister, Minister Donald Muhammad and his staff, we welcome you into St. Louis. Thank you once again, my brother.
Yes, thank you for the invitation and the honor. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. And Brother Shahid, you're not a new guy on the block. You know, you've been here for a minute.
Yeah, you know, it's like a second home.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And like I said, St. Louis does welcome you to our city. And Brother Shahid, I just want to ask some questions about yourself before we go into the meat of what we'll be talking about. When did you get introduced into Islam?
Well, I was blessed that my parents were in the nation when I was born. So I pretty much didn't have a choice. They groomed us as little children into the nation. We didn't necessarily, they didn't bring us to the mosque. A lot of times at that time, they were keeping the children out of the mosque, especially little children. But
yes, sir.
I grew up seeing images of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, images of the Muhammad Speaks newspaper with the two brothers, one from Africa and one from America, holding hands. And that kind of stuck in my head. And then as I grew up, I got reconnected, I would say, to what all that was about. And once the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan stood up to rebuild the nation, then that's when my family really got into it. I got registered for myself in 1987 in Camden, New Jersey, a little small mosque. But that was my start in terms of registering in the nation and coming in formally into a mosque setting and beginning to work to help the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad resurrect and redeem our people. So
yes, sir.
My little path there. That's why I was born with the name Shahid, because we were born in the nation. So
yes, sir. Yes, sir. And you are indeed a witness.
Yes, I'm trying. Yes,
sir. Alhamdulillah. And now we definitely know that you have a gift for mathematics. Now, were you mathematically inclined your entire life? Did it come easy to you?
No. A lot of people, give me a lot of accolades, I guess, because of the title Math Doctor. But I have to say, Math Doctor is not a title of supremacy in mathematics.
Yes,
nowhere
sir.
near. There's a brother that's my mentor. May Allah be pleased with him, Dr. Abdul Alim Shabazz. Now, he
yes, sir.
was a great mathematician. Modern time, made many mathematicians. A lot of the Blacks that got their PhDs in math came through him. So my title, Math Doctor, is a service title. When I came up with the title, I was looking at the rug doctor, something else doctor. So I said, you know what? Since they're serving their people cleaning rugs, this one's serving their people doing something else, then I'm going to call myself the Math Doctor, because we need service in the area of mathematics, particularly for our people. So that was a mission of mine, to help our people understand, one, we have to be masters of mathematics. Two, we are the creators of mathematics. And three, we cannot build a nation without being mathematically literate. So that's put me on the course to do the best I can through books, DVDs, speaking engagements, workshops, trying to help our people master mathematics. So I was never really blessed with a gift of mathematics, like it came easy, but it was more, Allah blessed me with the ability to teach it so people understand it. So that's what I would say.
Sir.
I have a gift of being able to explain things, make it simple, easily understandable, but not a gift where I'm a genius in math. No way, no how.
Yes, sir. Now, when was your calling to the ministry?
That was once I came to Chicago in 1989, I was blessed to be able to be an honored, distinguished teacher at Muhammad University of Islam. Never thought when I was in Philadelphia that ever would happen. I just sent the resume in just to send it in. I was already on my way to Ohio to teach at a public school. But I got the call from Sister Shelby and I was just blown away. So once I came to Chicago and started teaching at Muhammad University of Islam, our beloved brother Waleed Muhammad, may Allah be pleased with him, Abdul Waleed, who was the editor of the Final Call at that time, and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan's National Assistant Minister. I believe that was the title. Well, he was definitely assistant minister under the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. He got me into the ministry. And that began my trek into the student minister class.
And how did you mirror the two, the ministry into the mathematics? How did you balance the two and get that to engage with each other the way that you do?
Well, the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, being that they're based in mathematics and astronomy, it wasn't that difficult because we're taught, as you know, Islam is mathematics by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and mathematics is Islam. I was trying to find out, well, if I'm teaching Islam, then where does the mathematics come in? Because it is mathematics. So,
yes, sir.
With the blessing of our sister, Mother Tanetta Muhammad, who understood and would give workshops and lectures on the mathematical theology, she began to help me see, along with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan's lectures that he dealt with sometimes in dealing with numbers, the meaning of numbers and so forth. And then I began to see in some way how Islam is mathematics and how the teachings are based in mathematics. And then that helped me to kind of frame different presentations and lectures where I would try to explain some of the mathematical theology that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us in Minister Farrakhan.
Yes, sir. Now, you said you taught in Muhammad University of Islam and in public schools. Is that correct?
Yes, majority of my time was at Muhammad University of Islam, over about 30 years, since 1989. And then I had maybe 3 or 4 years in the public school system.
And the reason why I asked that question, because I wanted to see, was there a difference in how you had to teach, or was there a difference in the curriculum versus the Muhammad University of Islam and in the public school system?
Well, definitely at Muhammad University of Islam, our core curriculum is based in the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Master Father Muhammad. So we had to do the best we can to integrate the supreme wisdom into our lessons, integrate the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad in whatever subject we're teaching. We also were able to bring in God, and teach the importance of Allah in every subject, the importance of Allah being the creator, the maker, in terms of the subject that we were taught. But in the public schools, of course, you can't mention God, you can't necessarily get into the so-called religious aspects of the subjects, the theology of the subjects in relation to Allah God. So there was a stark difference, but my method of teaching was the same. I was illuminating, I was entertaining, enthusiastic, because you have to do that with our children in particular to get them to want to learn, a lot of times. So the method and the pedagogy was the same, but the curriculum definitely was different. We had a lot of leeway in the Muhammad University of Islam because we have no fear of teaching God, no fear of teaching,
alhamdulillah,
Islam.
Yes, sir. Now we look at the literacy rate is very low for our students. Now, is the literacy rate in direct in direct line with how people are failing at mathematics?
Definitely, because reading is like the foundation for every subject.
That is correct.
So when you are weak in reading comprehension, weak in vocabulary in terms of the subject that you're learning, you definitely are going to be struggling. So we find that those parents that start reading, start having their children know how to read before preschool, like 2 years old, 1 year old if they can. My wife, she has her own preschool
Yes, sir.
online academy, and she's making geniuses 2, 3 years old. Because she has them reading. So they come to her not able to read, and then she uses her magic and has them reading 2, 3 years old. And then they are already skyrocketed ahead of those that are just playing around with Barney stuffed animals and stuff like that in preschool, wasting
Yes,
time.
sir.
And then they want to start them in kindergarten, starting to learn. No, you got to start those children early. As soon as they come out the womb, they should be learning different subjects, getting ready to learn how to read and so forth. So that those students that have a strong foundation in reading early, then you can build that mathematics, that science, and everything else, because they have that understanding of how to decipher information, comprehend it, analyze, and rationalize. And reading is a definite part of that.
Yes, sir. And Brother Shahid, as it relates to the current system as mathematics as it's taught in most of the curriculums, what is wrong with the current system of how mathematics is taught, and how can you come in with your system of mathematics and get that corrected?
It really depends on the school and the teachers. I mean, there are some sound foundational teachers that know the basics, know the importance of the foundation, not bringing all these different approaches of teaching mathematics. That's what's confusing the students. It's a on purpose designed by those in power to have all these different methods of teaching mathematics and confusing the children and definitely confusing the parents. So the children come up with all these different ways. No, my teacher told me to do it this way. And the parent is like, what? When I was in school in the 60s, this is the way we learn math.
Yes,
So everybody's confused, right? And that's on purpose and design, particularly with our children and our, I don't call them brown, but our indigenous family children. They do the same thing to try to dumb them down in mathematics. And one part of the dumbing down process is to act like you're trying to teach a new method, but really all you're doing is confusing the children, confusing the students. So the way that mathematics is taught today, a lot of schools is just rote talking, lecturing, hoping the students get it. If they don't, putting them in a remedial class or passing them on because you just want to have numbers or whatever. So the methodology has to change. The methodology has to be foundational. It has to build on where they are. It has to be at the early ages. It has to be kinesthetic, manipulatives. Then they move into the pictorial, they call it, with pictures and images, and then they move into the abstract. So they build upon the development levels of the children, but strengthening the foundation at the early ages. And a lot of the schools, the elementary teachers are not sound in mathematics. You even have some elementary teachers that don't even like mathematics. So when they teach in mathematics, then that dislike for the subject is going to come across to the students.
Exactly.
You hear things like, I was never good at math. My mama wasn't good at math, so don't worry about it. Just do the best you can. No, if it's taught right, every child can master mathematics. It just has to be explained to them in the format that they can receive it. And you just have to be a talent at knowing what ingredients, what spices will work for this child and for that child. And it takes experience, it takes research, it takes creativity and imagination on part of the teacher to know different ways to reach the children and not just teach one way, because then you only reach one way. And that's part of the big problem.
Now, Brother Shahid, I remember growing up, this is like when we were in high school in the early 90s, and they were telling us that, you know, some of the Black students were falling behind in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, and they created this STEM program. Do you see the current STEM program as something that is helpful, or something that is trying to make up for a failing program that they've had in education?
Yeah, it's kind of like a makeup, and it's kind of like a money maker. You know, everything is driven by money, profit, and that's part of the poison that's in the educational system. You got all this political stuff. You have all this budgeting constraints and and you know, you help me out by getting a contract here. I'll help you out on this end, and the children are going to pots because the focus is not on educating the children. The focus is not on making every child successful. It's on profit. It's on politics. All this corruption is in the educational system. So you don't even get to the teaching phase because all of the madness that's going on in the society and in those in administration. I mean, it's crazy. This textbook has to be used. These testing things have to be used. Why? Because people are making money off of them. So STEM, to me, should have been already a part of the curriculum. You know, it's already in there. If you're teaching mathematics, then you're already bringing in experiments. You're already bringing in technology. If you're teaching science, you're already bringing in engineering and mathematics because they are part of science. So it should not be something separate now that you have to create. It's already intertwined in the subjects you're supposed to be teaching. And if it was being taught right, STEM would already be an ordinary part of the curriculum, starting in preschool, not waiting until they get to high school, waiting until they get into college or vocational or whatever. Start the STEM early in the child's development, and then they already have an appreciation for everything that's in STEM, art, engineering, math, science, because now they said you should use STEAM instead of STEM. So, but now you're getting budgets for STEM programs, you're getting after school STEM programs. See, it's just ways to make money, trying to compensate, like you said, for the fact that you failed the children in the first place because that was not your focus. You want them to get into sports. You want them to get into basketball, football. That brings in more cash.
Yes, sir.
You don't really care about the children.
Yes, sir. And Brother Shahid, under the way you come in and the way your program works, how do you assess a child's needs as far as what they're missing with their math and everything?
Once you are experienced at teaching math, then you kind of know the holes and the gaps, and you know what the prerequisites are needed to master that level. So if I'm teaching exponents and I see the child is having problems with exponents, then I might say, well, maybe I need to see how they are in multiplication, because you can't do exponents without understanding multiplication.
That is correct.
So every concept, there's a prerequisite concept that builds that concept. See, mathematics is like a pyramid. So you have a base, and then you're able to elevate with a strong base. So if that base is not there, place value, arithmetic, understanding all the concepts, what is addition really? What is multiplication really? Not just knowing how to do it, but what is it? Why do you use multiplication versus addition, right? So the more that the concept is developed, then the child can flourish and elevate. So when you do a diagnostic, as they call it, then you can find the holes, you can find the levels that they're missing. And you're trying to jump them at level 5, but they're missing level 2 and 3. You see, so then you have to go back, make sure you ramp up that area, enrich that area, and then they can go ahead and move up. It's like, I was talking about this, the study group, a sister was mentioning how we don't want to go through the steps. We just jump from the bottom and straight to the top. So I drew a picture of a ladder with only 2 rungs. So you got the bottom one and the top one, and you're trying to get to the top. So that's a lot of the ways that mathematics is being taught. You want to get them at the top, but they are missing all these rungs in between. And there's no way you're going to jump from the bottom to the top unless you got some rocket boosters on you. So that's a picture of what's going on.
And if a parent, wanted to come to you as far as getting a plan together, what type of plans and what do you offer that can help children, even some of these teachers in their classes? What all do you offer?
One of my main things that I don't have like a formal written out booklet curriculum type of thing, but I found that my success has been in teaching and explaining it myself through videos in my DVDs. Also, I have online courses that I do to get the children ramped up, build their foundation. I have a series of videos I call them the fundamentals, because they cover in middle school, in elementary and in high school some of the basic foundations they need to know: proportions, rates, percents, decimals, all the things that they keep repeating from like 4th grade up to 8th grade. I try to cover it so where they can get it locked down and solid and won't have to keep seeing it year, and then like relearning it. But when they see it, they're like, bam, I already know that. This is just a refresher. So I have online courses, self-directed ones where the child can just watch the video lesson, do the little assignment, and then keep it moving. And then that can be run by themselves and their parents. I have online live remote classes where they, like you and I are talking, they would be learning right in my classroom. I have that every Monday through Thursday. I'm starting from 8 a.m. all the way to 3 p.m. Eastern time, teaching online math. And then my DVDs, which are now direct downloads, I have those available from preschool. I got the ones for the babies. Babies get their math on, all the way to high school. Wow. And it's different. There's like 13 different DVDs on subjects: basic math, general math, algebra 1, algebra 2, all the way up to pre-calculus.
Yes, sir.
That's available on my website. I'm sorry.
How could someone contact you for, like you say, the direct online courses? And how can someone purchase a DVD for their baby or for their child in high school?
Yes. So to get the books, I have workbooks and storybooks on math and the DVDs. They can go to my website, themathDoctor.us. All that spelled out: THEMATHDOCTOR.us, themathDoctor.us. And then my email, they can reach me to set up tutoring. I do online tutoring live, and I do classes live, and that's mathDR12@gmail.com. mathDR12@gmail.com.
Yes, sir. And while you're here in St. Louis, you will be going to Normandy High School. Is that correct?
Yes, it might be the middle school. I think I'm speaking.
Okay, yes, sir.
Yes,
the middle school. And what would be your message to those students?
Now, with the students, I give them a pep rally, motivational, break dance, whatever I can do on why we must master math. It's called Get Your Math On. So every time I'm teaching, I end my class with, and get your math on. I even had right now, I think I finished 8 episodes of my show, Get Your Math On, and that's available on YouTube. So if they go to YouTube and subscribe to my channel, Shaheed Muhammad Math Doctor, then they can get some of those episodes. And I go into different scenarios and show them why math is important and relevant to learn. But that's what I do for the children. So anybody out there, if you're a teacher, principal, and you want me to speak to your students, please contact me. It's motivational. It's PowerPoint presentation. It's got images. I go into sports, movie making, food, music, everything that requires mathematics, because mathematics is universal. It's in everything that student needs to know, but a lot of times they don't know it. Teacher tells them you need to learn math so you can count your money. Man, that's old stuff. You need something more modern to tell them how they need to master math. That's not going to motivate them. So if you bring me into your class, I will get your children to get their math on. mathDR12@gmail.com.
And you're also giving the keynote lecture Sunday at Muhammad's Mosque number 28, located at 5967 West Florissant. And that will be Sunday, December 3rd. And what is your subject matter on that day?
The subject is Darkness Overcometh the Earth. And my subtitle comes from a song by War, Slipping into Darkness.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And I will have my brother some books in. They can get the direct download DVDs right there. After the mosque meeting, I'll be signing books, giving out, selling the DVDs, and they can get it right there after the mosque meeting. So we invite everybody. Please come on out. I'd love to see you live and live in color.
Yes, the doors open at 9 a.m. Service starts promptly at 10 a.m. Brother Shaheed, we want to thank you for your time. Like I said, we welcome you to St. Louis.
Thank you.
I look forward to getting out there and getting the people in there so they can see you. You definitely have something to offer. And if they would just give an ear to listen, it may make a difference. You have any last words, Brother Shaheed?
Man, I just thank you so much for your program, because we need more and more. I was telling Brother Anthony Shaheed, we need more and more programs like yours, programs like Brother Shaheed's, to get our people elevated into higher consciousness, because the madness that's going on, twerking in front of the camera, all this madness
Ooh.
that's out there, you all are doing a great job to counteract, man, but it's like spitting in a hurricane. But we appreciate you all trying to spit, at least, to
Yes,
get
sir.
something out there to elevate the people's minds. So I thank you, brother. May Allah continue to bless you with your program. And please, all those that's listening, get your math on. Contact me. I do workshops for teachers, parents, and children. And we would love for you to be our guest this Sunday at Mosque number 28.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Once again, assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam, my brother.
Yes, sir.